And U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Linda Thomas-Greenfield, is in Korea today following a visit to the demilitarized zone, where she met with some young North Korean defectors. In a TV exclusive earlier today, a few hours ago, I spoke to the ambassador about her conversations with defectors from North Korea, known as the DPRK, as well as, of course, the crisis in the Middle East, Israel's threat to retaliate against Iran, despite President Biden's urging that they avoid widening the war. What can be done to stop this from becoming a wider war, engaging the entire region?
We don't want to see this escalate, but we also support Israel's right to defend itself, and any decisions made on how to move forward will be made by the Israeli government.
At the same time, we have talked to many U.S. officials about the president's urging Israel not to escalate this, not to retaliate, to take the win. And it does appear from statements from the War Cabinet in Israel that they do plan to retaliate. What advice does the U.S. have for Israel to limit their attacks, their counterattacks, their retaliation?
I mean, again, we have been very clear in our concerns that this war not escalate. It has a greater impact on the region. But again, I have to say that Israel's War Cabinet will make the decision about what Israel will do. We have certainly given our advice, and we will continue to support Israel should they experience the kind of attack that they just experienced from Iran over the weekend.
What are your concerns about the effects on a potential ceasefire and certainly the escalating demands from Hamas, reducing the numbers of hostages they say would be released, demanding even more Palestinian prisoners to be released? How can this jeopardize any hope for peace in Gaza?
Look, the negotiations are ongoing, but I will say that without the release of the hostages, it will make it very, very difficult to have a ceasefire. We have been clear that we support a ceasefire with the release of hostages, and Hamas is not in a position to make demands. We have put a deal on the table for them, and they should accept that deal.
And now to talk about what's been happening in North Korea. North Korea's dictator Kim Jong-un has cemented his relationship with Vladimir Putin. He's getting valuable technology for his missile program from Russia and providing Russia with critical weapons for the war in Ukraine. The UN and the world have been standing by and focusing on other things, and North Korea is becoming an increasing threat.
Look, we have never turned our attention away from the situation on the Korean border with DPRK. And as you know, I was just at the border today. We have condemned and continue to condemn the constant breaking of Security Council resolutions by the DPRK and Russia's protection of the DPRK in the Security Council. Their veto last week was totally unacceptable. It allows for the DPRK, it protects the DPRK and allows for the DPRK to continue to carry out their acts of violence and their intimidation of countries along their border. I happened to be there today. We have been clear with the DPRK that we are prepared to negotiate without conditions. I saw the negotiating table. I saw the chairs empty. All they have to do is come through the door and sit at the table and start a negotiation process that we are prepared to do with them.
Now, it's been a year since civil war broke out in Sudan, with untold number of deaths, war crimes. You've been shedding light on this, putting a spotlight on this. You went to neighboring Chad. You talked to refugees from Sudan. But what can be done to stop this horrific war and to protect neighboring states like Chad from falling under the pressure of the refugees pouring across their border?
Now, two generals, two ambitious generals who do not have the concerns of the Sudanese people. They don't have their concerns in any way. They're not taking their concerns into consideration as they fight out this war that they think they can win militarily. We have pushed for negotiations. I understand the Jeddah negotiations are scheduled to resume soon, but in the meantime, we have to address the dire humanitarian situation that you witnessed with me, Andrea, when we traveled to the border last year. Right now in Paris, there is a humanitarian conference taking place. I understand about €2 billion was raised at that conference, but money is not all that's required. We have to ensure that there is access, that humanitarian assistance can get in. It can cross the border where you and I visited. And right now that's being blocked. It's being intercepted. And it is not getting into the hands of the people who are in need. And we're prepared to look at options in the Security Council for ensuring that humanitarian assistance is allowed to reach the people in need of Sudan. 1 year in this conflict is 1 year too many. The people of Sudan need to have peace. They need to return to a democratic path, a path that we know civilians, women fought for 2 years ago. And here we are back to the drawing board.
Is this becoming genocide?
We are clearly watching this situation very closely. In 2004, we declared this a genocide, and we see what's happening now in the Darfur region to be similar to what we saw in 2004.
Hey everyone, MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.